Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be giving you an honest review from a mum's perspective of the Sky SPACETALK watch. So if you want to find out a little bit more about this device, then keep watching. So for the last, I would say about 7 or 8 months, we have been trialing the Sky SPACETALK watch, and I've been using it with my eldest son. So if you're new to my channel and you've stumbled across this video because you want to know more about this, I'm Charlotte, I'm 32, I'm a mum of 3, and my eldest son Bill, who is 8, has been using this watch for, as I mentioned, the last 7 or 8 months now. We got it around Christmas time, and this is just going to be our honest review. So I'm going to walk you through what the features are, what you can do with it, and then also our thoughts. So I'm going to start with the watch itself. So it comes in 3 colours. We have the teal one here, but you can also get it in grey and then also a pink colour. So there are a few options there depending on your child and what their preference is. Now it has a scratch proof screen here. It's a touch screen, so your child just uses it with the flick of a finger. And then this is a hypoallergenic silicone band, so really flexible and soft, and we've had no issues with that. It's quite easy to buckle up as well. There are little straps here to keep the end of the strap out of the way, and it's just all in all a very sturdy, well made little watch. It has had a couple of scratches, but it's been well used. We've had it for, as I mentioned, about 8 months now, and it goes everywhere with him and he absolutely loves it. Another thing that I think is really worth mentioning is the charging point. Now this comes with a little cable that you just put in here, and then you can charge it via a USB point. But as you see here, there's a few little dots that actually link up with the back of the watch, and it's magnetized. So if your child is wanting to charge their watch on their own, it's very easy to use, as you can see, and they don't have to fiddle with putting anything in and out of devices, which can be a little bit sometimes as a parent. It's also dust and water resistant. It's not swim proof, so I wouldn't suggest you go for a dip with it, but in terms of like sweat, rain, that kind of thing, it's going to survive really well, and we've had no issues with it whatsoever. And as I've said, we've had it quite a while now. So that is just the general gist. As I mentioned before, it comes in 3 colours, so there's a little bit of flexibility there, and it's just really well made. So now on to the points to consider, like what do we like, what are the features like, and so on and so forth. Now in terms of purchasing the watch, there are like various different options. You can purchase the watch outright if you would like to, but as you can with a mobile phone, there are deals available on the Sky website. So you can either pay £10 a month for a 24-month contract or £15 a month for a 12-month contract. We have the £10 a month option, and I'm really comfortable paying that, not only because I know that my kid's going to be safe, I can also give him a little bit more independence as well. So that is the kind of the money area out the way and where you can get it from. If you want to know more information, of course I will leave a link down below so you can find out a little bit more and see if it's suitable for you and your child. Now the best part about the Sky SPACETALK watch is that you are in full control of who your child is talking to. So not only who they can contact, but who can contact them, which I think is a concern for any parent, because once you go down the route of giving your child a little bit more responsibility and independence, you almost feel like you're losing the ability to check in on them and see if they're okay, whereas with this, that is not the case. So when you get your Sky SPACETALK watch for your child, you also then download an app onto your phone, and this is called the All My Tribe app, and it is fantastic. It's really intuitive, not very difficult to use at all, and within this app you can control all of the settings that is on your child's watch. So you set their contacts, you can give them like appropriate names like mum and dad, granny and po, that kind of thing. You can also track them with a GPS tracker, so if they are out and about and they're playing out with their friends and you're just a bit wary because it's a bit of a new thing, you can just keep an eye out and make sure that they are in the place that they have told you that they're going to be. And that is a huge peace of mind, because you do just want to make sure that your kids are okay. So that's fantastic. Then there are other things that you can do. So you can check like how many steps they've done that day. So it's fun for them because they can like monitor their fitness and beat their goals. You can also set rewards for them. So if they've done certain chores that day that they're meant to do, then they get like rewards that come through on their watch, which is a nice like boost of morale, and it just kind of encourages them to keep doing it. And it's fantastic. You can see like their history, like places where they've been, just making sure that like obviously there are no boundaries being pushed there, and you can just control all of the settings. So this main bit here, I will get this on the screen so you can see it properly, but you can set your child's profile, you can set the reward stars like I've mentioned, you can adjust their contact list, their SMS keyboard. So if they're a little bit younger and they've not quite worked out how to spell things properly yet, there are preset phrases that they can use, like you know, can you come and pick me up now because my club has finished, and they just tap that one and they know to send an alert to you like, hey mom, I'm ready, come and get me. There is a school mode which is incredibly useful because that basically turns your watch really into just a watch. So there's no distractions, they're not calling anyone or messing around and sending messages to anybody, they're focused on school, but then they can still have it to hand, and once that timer finishes, then the Sky SPACETALK watch works as it normally would do again. So that's really good because you know that you're not providing any distractions in school, which is always a plus because you don't want that. There are different things, you can set alarms, you can change the watch face and wallpaper. So my son, for example, is Pokemon mad, so he has Pokemon on his, and it just makes it really happy. It's nice and personal for him, it makes him excited to use it. You can change the way that the clock face appears, so obviously you can do like a 24-hour clock or AM, PM, 12-hour clock, whatever is more convenient for your child. And then one of the fantastic points that I really want to talk about is the SOS button. Now, we all like to think that when our children are without us that they're going to be safe and happy and well, they're going to be with the right kind of people, but we all know that that is not always the case. Now, there are two buttons on the side of the phone, and on the right hand side here is the on and off button, which is very straightforward to use, and then on the other side is something known as the SOS button. And if your child is in any danger whatsoever, they just need to press this button and it immediately starts calling their SOS list. So that would start with me, and then next up, if you couldn't reach me, it would go to Mark and then my mum, and it will tell you where your child is, and it will let you know that an alert has been pressed, and you can try and find them ASAP, get to them, see if they're okay. That for me is absolutely amazing. It's such a big reassurance, and it's a reassurance for my child as well, knowing that I am always there if he needs me. Now we've got the serious points out of the way and the parental control out of the way. What does it actually do for your child? So there are loads of different options in this tiny little Sky SPACETALK watch. It's amazing what it actually packs in there, really. So it's a swipe screen, so you can see he's got the contact screen here, there's messaging, there's send your location so he can let me know where he is if he wants to, there's the step count, the weather, he really likes letting me know what the weather's like that day. There's the reward stars, as I mentioned, a stopwatch, which is useful, there's a torch, and then there's also settings as well, so you can sort of like control everything, make sure that everything's like set the way it should be. There's a little information box, and then that is everything. So it's really handy, really intuitive to use, not too tricky at all, and it's just a fantastic little device. It's really opened up that next stage, because I personally, I'm a mum of 3, so I'm not new to parenting, but I always feel like with your eldest, they are the one that keep you on your toes, because every single thing that they do will always be new. So it'll always be that first, and those firsts might be a little like fewer and far between as they get older. So there's not just the first steps and the first word and that kind of thing. It's more like when they start school, that's a new area that I've never done before, so we've got through that hurdle. It's like when they start clubs. So there are loads of different areas to navigate, and letting your child have like a little bit more independence is definitely an area that I have found quite hard, because he's still my baby. I know he's 8 and he's really quite tall for his age as well, so I swear he's going to be taller than me one day soon. But it's a new challenge, and this has kind of given me a lot of reassurance. Now, As I mentioned a little bit earlier on in this video, I also co-parent with my son's dad. So in our home, generally speaking, it's me, my other half Mark, and then there's Bill, my 8-year-old, Daisy, my 4-year-old, and Stan, my 2-year-old. Now Bill has a different dad and he goes to see him like fairly often, and when he goes, it's really strange to be apart from your child. It doesn't matter how old they are. Having your child be away from you and not be able to communicate with them and see how they are, it's hard. Whereas this has been the biggest gift. The first time ever I was able to message my child Merry Christmas in the morning, and that for me was everything, because you don't want to encroach. Like, I don't want to be messaging his dad and being like, you only have a little bit of time with him today, but do you mind if I talk to him right now? You don't want to invade that space, because both parents need time with your child and they need to have those special memories made, and you don't want to encroach on that, and that's understandable. But just to be able to send him a little message was everything to me. It was so special. And the really nice thing about the Sky SPACETALK watch is that it's completely in my son's hands, like when he wants to talk to his family, so he doesn't have to ask our permission and he can do it when it feels right for him. And that's a really special thing. So it's not just his dad, but grandparents, one of his friends. This is a real plus point. One of Bill's best friends actually got one of these for his birthday after his mum seeing Bill with his. She thought it was a fantastic idea, and they are able to message each other as well. So while lockdown's been happening, they've been able to stay in touch and call each other and text, and that is a huge thing, because especially at this age they are so aware of what they're missing out on and they miss their friends, but they don't always have that opportunity to talk to each other. So for the both of them having one of these, his friend has the grey one, it's lovely. Now I have, as part of what I do, reviewed a lot of products over the years, and this has to be hands down one of my absolute favourites. It's benefited both me and my son, and I feel so much more comfortable knowing that when he's without me, he's always like a call away. I can make sure that he's okay. I know that he's safe. I know that he's having a nice time. I know that I'm not hindering his development or his need for independence, because at 8 years old, it's not going to be long really until he's a teenager, and I'll have my work cut out for me then. So for me as a mum, this gets like a full-on 10 out of 10 from me, and I don't say that wisely. It's got a non-scratch screen, which is fantastic. It has a few knocks because he's a kid and he gets out and about everywhere with it, and that is to be expected, but it is absolutely fantastic and we love it. So that is the end of this video. I really hope that you found this useful. If you do have any questions and it can help in any way. So that is the end of this video and the end of our review of the Sky SPACETALK watch. I hope that this has been useful and it's given you a bit of insight into how this watch works and what we think about it and whether it might be for you. If you do have any questions, please leave them down below and I will do my best to answer them or point you in the right direction. As I mentioned earlier on in this video, there will be a link down in the description bar below, so if you do want to go and click through, find out more, you might even want to order one for you and your child, then by all means do. But thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely day whatever you're up to, and I'm going to go and get this back to its rightful owner. Take care. Bye.